Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk to you all about some underrated houseplants that I think just don't get the love that they really deserve. I've been talking about this a lot with one of my friends, Adam, on Instagram. He's at Earth Champion, and we both feel that there's a lot of plants out there that just don't get the limelight that they really need. I mean, I had quite a hard time selecting just 5 today because I have so many that I think need more love. And typically, I think they tend to be the more commonly available slash the basic houseplants that everyone has. So I tried to kind of step outside of that a little bit today and choose some ones that you might not necessarily see on an underrated houseplants list, because I just think they're gorgeous plants and I think everyone should have some in their collection. These are all actually very easy care plants as well, so it kind of doubles up as a good easy care houseplant video. So what Adam and I have done is we've set up a Instagram account called @myunderatedplants, and the hashtag is #myunderatedplants, and all you need to do to be featured, where we'll repost your image with credit, is to use the hashtag #myunderatedplants, and we will repost any that are using that hashtag. We're both quite excited about it because I think it's going to be really fun, and I think that there are a lot of houseplants that really deserve more recognition. Yeah. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first one that I've got on the list here is one for all of you folks who love your variegated houseplants, because we all know variegation is all the rage at the moment, as it always has been, I think. But this is the beautiful Pothos Enjoy. So this is just a cultivar of the pothos, the humble pothos, which is quite widely available. I mean, I don't see the Enjoy everywhere. I don't know how often it pops up, but I got mine from Wilko's. I think it was £4 in total, and it's a beautiful trailing plant. So this just, I mean, it's bushy, it's lovely, and if you look at this variegation, it's just gorgeous. And I feel like anyone who genuinely likes their variegation, you know, not just because it makes it a rare plant, probably will love this plant because it's just so pretty, and the variegation is so random. It's not sectoral, it's kind of, it's almost like half of it's been dipped in white. It's a bit like tie-dye or like some kind of splash all over it, but to me that's just such a pretty plant, and it's really easy to take care of. I basically just let mine dry out until I start to see it kind of wither and shrivel, and it seems to thrive that way. So then I'll water it and it will bounce back within 12 hours, and it'll look happy again. And mine just, I mean, it's not the fastest growing plant in the world, but mine is really happy. I mean, that's a happy looking pothos right there. So that is the Pothos Enjoy, and that is my first top underrated houseplant. The next one that I've got on the list is, I'm not sure if anyone will expect this because it's not, I feel like this isn't a very popular plant, although most people who aren't into plants have one of these in their house because they are so widely available. So this is the Ficus Microcarpa Ginseng. Mine is from IKEA. And I mean, to me, I just love this because it looks a bit rude. I mean, that looks like someone's butt cheeks. I'm sorry, but it does. And it looks a bit funky, it looks a bit rude, and it's got this lovely foliage out the top. Mine's been a bit neglected lately. When it's less neglected, it will have more bushy foliage, but right now it's kind of taken a hit. But it's just a lovely plant, like a really easygoing statement plant, and all you do is you just kind of keep the compost like lightly moist, and that's pretty much it, and he'll just grow. The cordex itself doesn't really grow much. You might find that you have to trim the branches to keep it into a nice like tree shape, but apart from that, it's about the easiest easy care bonsai tree you will ever find in your life. And I think these are about £10 in IKEA. They are almost always there, so guaranteed you'll be able to find one of these. And to me, I just love the funky little knots and shapes that you get in this cordex area. The trunk is where it holds most of the moisture, which is why if you overwater it, these will kind of rot away and die. But as long as you keep it lightly moist, and I do occasionally let mine dry out and wait till the leaves sort of go a bit dull and not too shiny, maybe a little bit wrinkled, and then I'll water it again. But yeah, very easy care plant, and I really think that I just feel like this should get more of the limelight, honestly. I can't really understand why it doesn't. The next on my list, I suppose you could argue that when this does show up, it does get some love. But I think for me, it's the fact that it doesn't show up very often. So this is the Staghorn Fern. So this is, mine is the Platycerium veitchii, which is the variety. And this one particularly is very Staghorn-esque. And it's just a beautiful plant. And again, super easy care. I mean, for me, I just let this dry out until these leaves start to kind of wilt, and then I water it, and then it's happy. I tend to try and bottom water it so it doesn't get the shield part wet, because that is, I think, where a lot of people go wrong with these is if you water the top and the shield gets wet, that's kind of where the new leaf forms, and if that gets too wet, it will rot away because it's mostly in contact with the soil. I know a lot of people do mount these. I am going to maybe look at mounting this. I quite like him in his pot like this. He just kind of extends into anywhere where he is. So I love this plant, and I love a lot of the Staghorn Fern varieties. I think this is my particular favourite, but I just think they're such a spectacular plant, and they don't get the coverage that they deserve, in my opinion. And some of the other varieties are a bit easier to get hold of. I'm not sure how easy the veitchii is to get hold of, because I just happened upon it by chance one day in a plant nursery and haven't seen it since. But I do think that perhaps the availability of them, like you find them a lot in Lidl's and Aldi as the cheap ones, I think their availability makes them less desirable, I think. Or, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. Let me know in the comments if you know why these plants are not as desirable to people as maybe they should be, because I feel like they need more. They need more love. Right. The next one you've probably seen peeking out the corner of my frame. I've got two to show you because I just thought it would help for dramatic impact, and also it makes me look really jungly. So bromeliads. I mean, why do bromeliads not get more love? Look at this foliage. It's so funky. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it, you guys. I feel like these are gorgeous. And again, easy care. All you really need to do with a bromeliad is make sure that the soil stays relatively moist, and top up the well in the middle. There's a little well in the middle of all your bromeliads. Top that up with water, she says, without having any water in it. Top that up with water and just keep it topped up. Make sure it's distilled water or it's bottled water or rainwater, so basically not water from a tap. You don't want all those chemicals in there, but yeah, very easy to keep happy. And they're low light plants, they don't need a lot of light. They like a lot of humidity, but they will survive without it as well. So you're pretty much golden with these, and they're just so dramatic in their foliage, and there's so many varieties. For me, the Neoregalia are the ones that I really kind of want to get into, but I've got so many plants in case you didn't already know. I need to not get into another genus of plants. So yeah, I'm trying to like quell my Bromeliad love, but at the same time, why do these not get more love? Yeah, let me know if you like these. This is the Vriaca splendens, and this is the Vriaca hieroglyphica. I think Vriaca are my favourite of these. But I think a lot of them, like I said, the Neoregalia is the next one that I want to really kind of look into. There's a lot of Tillandsias and so many different species under the Bromeliad genus that I think they just don't get the coverage that they deserve. What's that about? Right, I will pop this down. Again, you can kind of find these in supermarkets and in Wilco's and everywhere, and I think that must just be why they're not so popular. I think it's because you can easily get them and there's no hype around them. So, but yeah, bring back the Bromeliad hype. And my final plant that's underrated, in my opinion, that I've put on this list, number 5, although don't get me wrong, there are so many others, is the simple little Hypocephalus. And again, to me, with this whole variegation craze that continues on and on, I don't really understand why a plant like this is overlooked, because if I bring this up close, you can see it's so pretty. Like each leaf is just covered in little polka dots, and it's just so gorgeous. And you've got several different varieties of Hypocephalus. So you've got a pink one, like a bright pink one, a light pink one like this one, you've got white, you've got red. There's so many different varieties, and these are lovely little filler plants for terrariums, and I think that might be why they kind of get slightly overlooked, is because they're like ground cover plants. But another thing that I love about these is not only are they easy care, if they start to wilt, then that's when you want to water them. They will tell you when they need water, you just need to be keeping an eye. Even if they do a dramatic flop, they're probably okay, just make sure you water them and they will probably bounce back. This one had a complete dramatic meltdown, I think less than 24 hours ago, and it's bounced back. I mean, it looked dead, and it's completely bounced back. The other thing is, these can grow very tall, particularly if you don't have enough light, but in general they can grow very tall. You need to keep pinching out the growth to keep them at like a ground coverage sort of short height like this. But wherever you pinch them off, new leaves will grow, and they just grow prolifically. They are like a fantastic grower. I've thought that I've killed off many in my time, and they just keep coming back. So they are really, really easy care, really easy to get hold of. They're in most garden centres where they sell anything terrarium related, because as I said, they're a great terrarium plant. They like high humidity, but they also are, I don't know, to me, I think this is a really gorgeous plant, and I just don't get why it doesn't get the love. So yeah, I'll give you another peek. Look at that. This is also known as the polka dot plant. Sorry, I've got slightly shaky hands, it's making the leaves go yeah, this is also known as the polka dot plant, so it's named after its variegation, I guess. In a way, it just kind of looks like, I'll show you this, it just kind of looks like someone's got bleach and just kind of flicked bleach like with a paintbrush over it, and it's just kind of got this acid wash kind of effect, and I just feel like this needs more love. So those are my 5 top underrated plants, going from the Pothos Enjoy, the Ficus Microcarpa Ginseng, the Platycerium Staghorn Fern, the Bromeliads, and the Hypocephalus. So I hope you enjoyed my list. If you did, make sure you let me know in the comments what your top underrated plants are, and if you're kind of into this theme of like giving the plants that need more love, some more coverage, some more love, please do head on over to Instagram. I'll put it into the description to the account shared by Adam and myself for @myunderatedplants. Make sure you use the hashtag #myunderatedplants on any of your plants that you think don't get the love that they deserve, and we will repost that. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe. It's free. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.